Hello and welcome to Spoiler Alert, where I tell you how something was that isn't yet. This week we're taking a look at the new Magic set, Magic Origins, the set that tells you what you should already know but don't. Yes, we're finally going to learn the backstories of 5 of the most important planeswalkers in the game: Jace, Gideon, Liliana, Chandra, and Nissa. This is the start of a new era of storytelling for Magic the Gathering, bonding the cards with the stories online in a way they haven't done before. This differs from the old method of storytelling, which was basically just writing novels and praying people found them. The format of this set is to show the home plane of the planeswalkers and then watch as they planeswalk for the first time, which is a lot like being born. It's messy, unpleasant, involves a lot of screaming, and at the end of it you're in a brand new world that makes no sense and you want to go back where you came from. This is also the last core set, and they're going out with a bang, much like anyone Chandra has a problem with. Chandra, as it turns out, is from a steampunk world named Kaladesh, heavily inspired by Indian influences. And yet she's white, proving even fictional Indians need a Gandhi to kick out the British. The first plane she traveled to happened to be Regatha, right in front of an order of pyromancer monks who could teach her how to use her powers effectively, which is the multiversal equivalent of winning the damn lottery. Think about this for a second. She was at least as likely to end up on a plane of sentient sharks who consider redheads delicacies. And speaking of sea life, let's discuss the Dory the Fish of Planeswalkers, Jace Beleren. After all, they are both blue and have memory issues. Turns out he's from Vryn. The plane wizards liked, so they put some rings on it. After finding out that his Sphinx Master was using him as a flesh puppet, he fled to Ravnica, the plane he would eventually become the Guild Pact for. Essentially, he is now their living constitution, granting him the sort of powers Justice Scalia has wet dreams about. Then we have Nissa Ravain, and I have to say I thought she was great in the third Hobbit movie. She's from Zendikar, where she was an animist, until she found out that someone decided to make her home plane the setting of a Lovecraft novel. Naturally, she got the hell out of there and found herself on Lorwyn, the plane where the elves think they're from Mean Girls. Naturally, there were some questions involved, but God, Karen, you can't just ask someone why they don't have horns. When faced with this vapid new world versus the abominations that plagued her home, she did the only thing she could do: try to find a way to fix her home. Next up is Gideon. No, not that Gideon, the other one. Thank you. Gideon grew up as Kithion on Theros, the only plane where, if you think the gods are screwing you over, you're probably right. Having been on the receiving end of the gods' dickery, he planeswalked to Bant, where they immediately misheard his name and he was too mono-white polite to correct them. And finally, we have Liliana Bess, the beautiful black mage who puts the romance back in necromancy. She was a trainee healer on Dominaria until she got the idea that she could cure her brother better than the fully trained healers could, making her the multiverse's equivalent of an anti-vaxxer. Following that, she made a contract with the demon not just once, but 4 times, making Faust look like a pussy. So that's it for the plot. Let's take a closer look at just a few of the cards now, shall we? Blessed Spirits are only smiling because no one told them they're dead. Hixus, Prison Warden, is the only non-asshole prison warden in all of fiction. Mighty Leap sees you implying pigs can't fly and raises you an elephant. Disciple of the Ring is tired of people making "my precious" jokes. You've never had a friend like Soulblade Jin. The Macabre Waltz is much creepier than its cousin, the Macabre Macarena. Enthralling Victor is evidence of the power of a six-pack. I'm surprised Goblin Glory Chaser hasn't painted his teeth chrome. Pia and Kiran Nalar are rare examples of red characters whose primary emotions are not explosions. The elemental bond shown here is much more interesting than the ones on the periodic table. Skysnare Spider is Ron Weasley's worst nightmare. Alhamaret's going to need that archive after what Jace did to him. He's got a lot of catching up to do. And these Pyromancer's goggles double as a tool to become the next main character of a Digimon show. So that's it for this week's Spoiler Alert. Join us next time as we explore the new Fantastic Four movie, and as always, leave me comments down below telling me what else you want reviewed in advance. Until then, don't say I didn't warn you.